Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Unreal Engine 5 Virtua Co-op tutorial series. In this tutorial, we are going to spawn enemies whenever our first person character overlaps with that trigger box. So our character will stop tracking following the spline whenever our character overlaps with that trigger box, and then our uh, enemies will spawn at these widgets, spawn location widgets. So let me show you. So like that. So and also you can increase by clicking here uh, in the custom properties. You can increase the spawn locations. It means you can increase the number of the spawn enemies um, to whatever uh, number you want. Okay, let me drag them here and drag that here also. Okay, so now we can set the number of the spawn enemies to spawn and also their spawn location. Let me show you again. So now we have 4 enemies. So this is what we are going to do in this tutorial, and you can get project files on my Patreon. And let's jump into the tutorial. So in this tutorial we are going to make enemy spawner system. So whenever our first person character overlaps with that trigger box, he will stop following that spline path. He will stop there, and enemies will spawn there. And when we kill all of those enemies, our first person character will start to follow the spline path again towards the next trigger box. So in the previous tutorial, we made the pausing and resuming the tracking of the spline path through trigger boxes. Let me show you once again. So our character overlaps, it stops. After 2 seconds of delay, it starts moving further towards the next trigger box on the spline path. So in order to spawn enemies, we need a separate actor here, which will be responsible for spawning the enemies, and also that actor will also be responsible for counting the enemies. So let's say we spawn 3 enemies on that trigger box, and when we kill all 3 enemies, the counter here will goes to 0 on that uh, a new actor which we will create. And when the enemy counter goes to 0, it means we killed all the enemies related to that trigger box, and that new actor will signal us to resume the tracking on the spline path once again towards the next trigger box. So that's the whole story. So what we are going to do now? So very first thing we are going to do is go back into the trigger boxes here. Let me close them. So let me open them for you once again. So in the content, Virtua Co-op actors trigger boxes. Uh, Definitely now uh, we don't need the resuming here after the delay of 2 seconds. So in order to spawn the enemies, we need locations where we want to spawn the enemies. So for that we need a vector variable spawn. Okay, spawn location, and it will be vector. And as we will spawn multiple enemies, so definitely we have to make it array and make it public, and also show 3D widget. Okay, now go back here. And now again we need to write the category custom properties, or you can write uh, public variables. So now, okay, go back here and select the first trigger box, and here you can see custom properties. Press that, and you will notice we have that widget here. So and that will be the location of the upper first enemy to spawn, and you can increase it by clicking here. Now we have that second 3D location widget here. So it has 0 here and it has 1 here. So okay, now we have 2 of them here. So now we need enemy spawn handler or enemy handler actor. So let's create it. To BP handler enemy AI enemies. So before that we need to create a enemy actor. So let's create a folder here and enemy AI. And in there we are going to create a character class. Let's call it enemy AI. Open it, and in the mesh we have as we are using third person template, so we have already uh, our mannequins here with many and queen with their animations, basic animations. So we will use that many simple, and here we will use AVP many here. So drag it and rotate to here. Okay, now so our enemy is okay now. So now go back to here. We created our that handler enemy AI. Let's uh, drag that here. So we need it every time. Uh, okay, okay. So let's open it. Now we need to communicate from. We need to send data from that trigger box to that actor, or whenever our character uh, overlaps here, we need to send a signal here in that actor that okay, we are now stopped at the trigger point. Now spawn enemies for us at these locations, these two locations here. So for that we need a exposed variable here, public variable inside there, and we will get a reference of that actor inside there. So open the trigger box again and create a new variable. Name it. You can name it anything. Enemy handler, or we can call it reference. Okay, I think okay. Let me handler enemy AI. Okay. Now in the type BP handler enemies AI and single, make it public. Okay, and again drag it to custom properties. Go back here again, click here in the custom properties, get the reference here. So okay, now open that uh, trigger box, sorry, that handler enemies. Go here. Now we need to create a custom event here, or you can create custom event, or you can create a function here. Add custom event here, event spawn enemies. And what we need, what information we need from trigger box, we need uh, that information, spawn location, that vector array. So spawn location, vector, and array. And also we need a reference or of that trigger box too. I will show you why we need that. Trigger box at reference, and we call it pp trigger box, and we need a single here. Okay, so here we need spawn actor from class, and what class we want to spawn, that bp enemy ai. Enemy ai at what location, at what transform, definitely here, but that's a array, so we need for each loop here, loop body, and that we'll plug it here. So for now we are good to go, and also promote the variable because we need that in future. So now our spawn enemy logic is done here, I think, in the trigger box. From the trigger box, now we need to call that event. So that's the event, that's the place which will notify us or execute or fire up whenever our character collides, overlaps with that trigger box. So here we are stopping the spine tracking. You can use two ones because uh, sometimes that event runs multiple times, so that's why I'm using do ones here. Now drag that here, call the spawn event spawn enemies, and give the location here, and also the trigger box is the self reference. So I think that's it. Let's see if it's spawning or not. Let's try it. Okay, so both enemies should spawn here. Okay, they didn't spawn. Why? Because they actually spawned. Because if you see, look here, and these are our spawned enemies, but they are not spawned at the right location. Why? Because that location is relative to that trigger box, and here, here, that is the world location. So we need to convert that relative location to world location. So for that we need a node transform location. Transform location, that one. Now we need that trigger box reference which we created here. And you know why we needed that? Get world transform, get actor, um, get actor transform here and here. Now it should work fine. Yes, now they are spawning at the right location. Now we need them to look towards us, and we will do that in the next tutorial. So for that, it's everything is working fine. So thank you for watching, and you can get project files on my Patreon. Till next video, and Allah Hafiz.